What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition Holy Try Football Podcast Week 8 preview. It's me, AWAT, coming to you from the blue state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. To my west, Dberg. What is up? 6-0 Pitt.
6-0. What did I tell you guys? Running out of luck, but not today.
Not today.
Best way to characterize that performance. And yeah, thank goodness for the bye. Not going to get much easier. Actually, probably only going to get harder going forward.
Okay. To my east, also undefeated. Holy Try with one loss this year. Look at us.
Something else.
Look at us, guys. Ken, what's up?
Feeling good. I mean, there's only been a couple of years where we've all been ranked at the same time, right?
Right, yes. 21.
Yeah. In which Penn State
might be it,
probably fell out.
Well, it's both of your team's fault, as we've established every time.
We've never finished all ranked, right?
Did we finish all ranked in 21?
No, Penn State finished 7-6 that year.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah, what about 22? Pitt finished ranked in 22.
Notre Dame finished what, 6th?
Penn State lost in that Rose Bowl. Oh, no,
They've been ranked.
Won in that Rose Bowl. They finished 8th.
So, yeah. Boom. All ranked.
There we go. 22 was a banner year. Let's see if we can run it back. Yes, run it back.
22 is not a banner year. Dare I say it was the fork in the road year, and we'll see what Pitt does with it going forward. Certainly for their head football coach, it was a fork in the road year. That
you finished ranked in 2022.
Yeah, 9-4.
Wow.
We were in Charlotte.
We were in Charlotte for 22.
You went back. Wait, so you
probably should have been in Charlotte that year, but
should have been in Charlotte.
Despite
wait, 2021 was the year you went to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year I was thinking of for Notre Dame finishing.
That was the year your team screwed the pooch for us all finishing ranked.
Right.
22. What was 22?
That was when didn't Conehead play?
Notre Dame didn't. Yeah. Wait, was that the year that you guys lost to Wisconsin? Or no, you beat Wisconsin.
Beat Wisconsin, yeah.
In like the 40-point fourth quarter.
I think Notre Dame was 10-3 that year. We'll have to get research on it.
And then that was Marcus losing in the final game to Oklahoma State, right?
Mm-hmm. It's maybe 9-4. Well, we're all back now.
We're all back.
All live and well, at varying stages of the season.
Yeah.
Riding various highs, staring down various obstacles along the way.
Yes. Penn State not helping with AY's strength of schedule there with the win this weekend.
No, I thought USC was going to steal one. But the dumpster fire is alive and well out there.
I wouldn't call it a dumpster fire though. They're a very competent team.
They lost to Minnesota. I mean,
they're 3-3.
They're 3-3. I'm telling you, I don't think that their record is indicative.
As someone who plays
USC beating Minnesota for beating LSU, even though that's obviously better to beat LSU if you're going to be 3-3.
Yeah.
Then I would.
I think the Minnesota game is inexcusable.
Yeah.
I get it.
All three of them are heartbreakers.
You're new here to this USC thing. As playing USC every year, that team is a complete circus 3 out of 4 years.
I'll tell you.
Sure. I mean, they might beat Notre Dame in 6 weeks. They definitely might. But I can promise you.
You're on this, and I might be alluding to it. We may be talking about their game here a little later on as well, but I do think this team will be. They are dealing with a lot of injuries. They just announced that linebackers out for the year with those concussions that we were talking about last week.
And that DN too.
And the DN, yeah. They very well could fold up shop, but that team, they came out hair on fire. Lincoln Riley he was in his bag calling really good game there. I thought he was running circles around Tom Allen with the quick drops, not letting Penn State's defensive line take advantage of that weaker offensive line that they had and getting the ball quick out of Miller Moss's hands. That team, they were pulling out all the stops. They were desperate back against the wall. They knew to save whatever was left of their season. They had to come with their best shot, and they really did. I think, like AY, what you were saying, I really did for about 3.5, 4 quarters of that game. I did think Penn State was going to lose it. Even in overtime, I thought Penn State was going to. After Penn State tied the game there, 30-30, I had no faith in that defense stopping them. But I don't know what Lincoln was thinking, letting the clock.
The clock run down. I caught that because your game ended like 20 minutes after mine did.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of your fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I didn't hate that.
Yeah, because he was close to field goal range already.
He took it a little farther than I would have.
Yeah.
But
I think he should have, snapped the ball probably at like 30 seconds, 35 seconds.
I agree, yeah.
14, yeah. I didn't think it was that bad to play.
He took it a little far.
Yeah.
But I think he had the right idea.
I do too. I think he did take it too far, yeah. Because he was basically 10 yards away from field goal range.
He was getting roasted by who was on the call? Who was on the call for that? I don't remember.
It was Danielson and
yeah. They were a bunch of old heads, so of course.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing here.
I really don't. He's got 3 timeouts.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, but I'm with you. I thought when they had the ball 30-30, I mean, they were one.
And they got to midfield.
I mean, they were a foot away from a field goal attempt. Just a little errant pass, 6 inches away.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have missed it for sure, but
I mean, he did miss his field goal. He did miss his field goal.
Yeah.
His next one, at least. He did miss his next field goal, at least.
Yeah, he was doing. I mean, he was making some nice ones during the game.
Yeah. Penn State's kicker Ryan Barker coming in. Second game he's starting.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I mean, it's not like any of his were long shots. I mean, they were all within like what? As long as one was like 40 yards, something like that.
But that other kicker there that was missing those. Who was against Burt? He was missing the short kicks.
Yeah, Sander missed 2 41-yarders, I think. It's bad. Penn State, it's exciting to go into a bye on a win where Penn State's so plainly. I think they did a lot of good things. They rolled up 500 yards of offense, but could not score in the red zone. The picks obviously weren't ideal. One of them was out on the Hail Mary, but the 2 other ones not the best. But when
what are you making them throwing to Tim Riggins every play?
Oh, I mean, I think it shows Penn State's receivers and
Jules.
the quality that we have there, the separation that they're able to get. I don't know how teams can't just key on that now going forward. And so I think you got to go back not to the drawing board, but you need to really look to scheme up some of these receivers and take advantage because you know that no team's going to allow what happened after this past week to happen to them now. I think you're going to see a lot of scheming and rolling coverages towards Riggins now. But I mean, there's
more opportunity for Jules.
Yeah, more opportunity for Jules. He stepped up after a couple drops in the first half.
He did have a good late fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's more than paid for himself now, I think, with that drive. That was impressive. The 2 fourth down, you're seeing the peg. He just got pegged.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt right in the elbow.
It looked like it hit the pads.
Yeah, still, you never know.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was impressive, and it's a growing up moment. You haven't seen this from Drew here in his year and a half as a starting quarterback, coming in crunch time and driving down the field. It was impressive to see, and it was a growth moment. I think I was happy to see it. Things going forward, I'm concerned about. Obviously, Penn State didn't get that much pressure as you would have expected with what Michigan, Minnesota, and some of these teams have been able to do. Penn State's defensive line, it's largely, I think, because of the scheme and how Lincoln Riley was calling that game, but also we got some concerns there. They're dinged up. Nicholas Singleton was hurt. He was in and out of the game. Obviously caught the game tying touchdown, the last touchdown of the game, but Bye couldn't come at a better time. Penn State's got you could see, I think the ground game being hampered has made it tough for them. And Nick is, he hasn't hit those explosive plays like he was in the beginning of the year. I think part of it may be this injury that he's dealing with. And so hopefully they come out of it. They got improvements to make. Hopefully they're not sitting too fat and sassy. They should be. Hopefully they're on their game here. They're going into a hostile environment in a couple weeks. Night game in Camp Randall, so they can't come out sleepwalking. Hopefully they don't read their press clippings too much. They'll be sitting there pretty highly ranked, likely number 3 or in that range again in a couple weeks when they go into Camp Randall. Good win, and I really didn't think that they were going to pull it out for most of that game. And probably the most exciting win I think that they've had since 2017, that Iowa game, maybe.
Oh, wow.
At the buzzer.
Yeah, the one at the buzzer.
That was a sweet game.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a more exciting one. I'll tell you, for 95% of that game, I was very happy I didn't make that trip, and that I was very happy I wasn't David sitting with David there in that stadium. And then that last 5%, I was wishing I was there. That was a sweet game to be at for Dave in the Coliseum. Good job, David. You proved you're not a loser. You pulled out an important win last week, and you did it. You proved to the universe you could get a win when it mattered.
Now we just need your season wrap up to drop.
The postmortem.
Please give the people what they want.
I keep refreshing, so yeah. I'm not going to go as far as set alerts because that might set them off. But no, I was giving a hard time about USC. No, that's a good win. I mean, the line dropped to 3.5. USC came out, hair on fire, played for their season.
Yep.
They have a ton of talent. They just fall apart at some point, and this might have been their breaking point. But they put it all out there. 2 notes I have. 3 notes. 1.
Woody is sweet. Woody is a really good back.
Woody's awesome. Well, 4 notes. Woody's awesome.
Yeah.
That goes with 2. The defense for Penn State. That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
A big step up in class as far as offense, and they didn't answer the bell. Could it be a one-off? Absolutely. Could it be a scheme thing? Definitely. But I wanted to see a little more. I know USC's the best offense they faced, but
yeah,
I want to see a little more there. 3rd, I bet Penn State money line at halftime in order to procure a free pizza. But the game ended. the game took so freaking long.
You need to get it late night.
I got hungry and decided to eat, so I'm going to get that pizza this weekend.
There you go. Paying it forward.
So thank you for that. It was 4-1. I was like, oh, come on. And a little bit embarrassing, but how did Allard not make the end zone on that Hail Mary?
Oh, have you watched it back? I think he had pressure coming at him. It looked like he
threw like 40 yards.
Yeah, I looked like he wasn't fully.
He wasn't fully set. I
Yeah.
agree with that, but I don't know. I'm just poking fun at him.
No.
Hey, as I was telling Cheyenne, a win's a win. Take it.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about how you.
All it matters until you lose.
Yeah.
There was plenty of Fire Franklin texts firing off in that.
Oh my gosh.
Those guys, led by Kistler, he hates Franklin more than anything. But he says he just uses it to fire the team. So it's been working.
What I'll say about that defense, I do agree I wasn't enthused to see it. I will say I think more and more you'll see this with especially teams that you felt are good defenses. You've seen that from Georgia. I think this year maybe that defense isn't as good as it has been in the past. But if you're going to go up against, I think like a first-rate offense or an offense that has good play callers and good players, I think more times than not you're going to be holding on. I think it's going to be rare to see defenses shut down, I think.
I completely agree. I mean, in this new age, good offense beats good defense.
Yeah. And I think especially with Lincoln in his bag there, fired up team, back against the wall. I was happy. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to get a stop. I was very happy for them to be able to get the stops that they were, because it felt like they were hanging on for dear life, and they got the stop the one time when they needed it. Down the stretch in overtime, a couple of suspect calls, some PIs that could have been called against Penn
Oh
State.
yeah, I forgot that.
But you know what? You take it where you can get it, and Penn State's gotten their fair share of bad calls against them by the Big Ten refs. It's I'm glad to see some go their way.
A little Miami room service there.
Exactly. Big Ten office put it in
With that, and the what was the other thing I saw people talking about at the end of the first half? Was there some like block in the back or something on USC?
Yeah, there was USC had driven out. Woody got it inside into 1st and goal, I think, and there was a chop block that was called on that.
Yeah.
Was that dicey or what? I don't think I ever even.
I think they said it was really close. Like it could have been called either way.
Which is
They leaned. I think they leaned no call, but
I think it was like
right on. Though, you can't.
They said if it's at 10-2, it's okay if it's between 10 and 2, and it was basically right on the 10 that he hit it.
But it wasn't a touchdown play though.
No, he had gone down to the 1st and goal basically.
Yeah,
I think
who the hell cares? Yeah,
it had gone down to like the 9, I think, something like that.
That was like the 5, but yeah. Either way.
Anyway, it wasn't a scoring play, and it was at the end of the half. I just saw somebody tweet about that, like, "Oh, that's a bad call," and something. Somebody from something.
Yeah, I think Sterator got on there and basically said that it was right on where you can call it as far as the angle goes.
And it had to do with the tackle box too.
Yeah, that too. But excellent game in a day full of great games. They were chock full.
Yeah, let's speed through the rest here because that was lengthy.
That was a deep dive.
Deeply there.
Holy Try. The as I told you guys, the quad box setup I had was Holy Try plus Red River, which was just a fantastic setup all day. I could watch all 4 at once. That was awesome. Notre Dame stomped Stanford, but the main story obviously is Benjamin Morrison out for the year. Another
injury bug.
Another season-ending injury to that defense.
Unrelenting.
I guess we're getting it now. They have 3 scholarship corners. 2 are true freshmen. So we'll see what Golden cooks up. They go, I guess, a teaser into the preview. Notre Dame plays coming into Stanford. I think the fourth, either the first or fourth most man coverage in the country, because they can with that secondary, and it frees so much up. And I don't think they can anymore. So we'll see how the scheme changes there. That hurt. But on the positive side, if you want to take one from that game, Riley looked like a real quarterback. That was a breath of fresh air. Very good with his arm. Very limited runs. Yes, it was Stanford, but I mean, we saw him against Syracuse. Whatever. You take what you can get at this point. A building block of sorts. So moving on. Pitt. Dan sniffed this out.
Yeah, outplayed. I mean, I can't even say the defense won it.
And with the great HP call there.
Big assist from the South Fayette alum, kicker for.
Oh yeah, the North Carolina transfer.
North Carolina by way of prep school, by way of South Fayette, just completely chili dipping that 40-yard go-ahead field goal attempt.
God.
And then, of course, the offense proceeds. That had obviously a really tough day.
The homecoming double agent coming through for the hometown team.
Yeah. Just dreadful. Well, I mean, dreadful is probably harsh, but certainly not good. Outgained, outpossessed, lost the turnover battle, but big plays and
still won,
and some good fortune. Yeah, still won. So. We'll see. Got a partial bye here. Got the Orangemen, if we're allowed to still say that, come to town next Thursday, and I would say otherwise burn the tape.
Burn it.
Cover the tight ends in the future too. That would help. Yeah, not much to add. Just I felt very comfortable with the 8-point lead that they had built, thinking, okay, at worst they're just going to start trading scores here, much like the North Carolina game, and then that wasn't happening. As I was watching Riyadh's season, better be versus B-Vol on the main TV and following along, but that was that was a stinky one.
Well, before we get into the main course, I guess we'll close out the quad box with Red River. Texas just was too much for Oklahoma. Oklahoma defense was awesome in the first 20 minutes, but the dam broke eventually.
Yeah, it seemed like
they couldn't move the ball, but defensively they were flying around. Stutzman and company were awesome.
I think Ewers was just getting his feet under him.
Ewers did not look good, rusty, but
yeah,
they got it going.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll talk Texas more later on. And we can skip through here. I'm going to at least mention Illinois 50, Purdue 49.
Can we get Bird out of the polls? I'm sorry. Can we get this? I mean, that's a.
No, I need that. I need that.
That's it. Yeah,
that's
at least suspend them for 2 or 3 weeks for that. I mean, that's dread. We were talking about them being so bad, Purdue.
Oh yeah.
We'll jump here to the main event, and we can fill in the rest. The Oregon Ohio State game. It was good, but
I didn't think it was that good either.
No, I agree. Like something felt off to me.
Yeah,
it was a good game. A 1-point game at the end.
I thought Oregon deserved more, but I think Ohio State is better, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ohio State. I'm afraid of them being a war machine now when they come to town in a couple weeks, but it seemed like there was something off with them. And that defensive line, I know people were getting mad at Larry Johnson now. They didn't really look very good.
That was
Sawyer out the year now.
JTT, that was just not good.
And it's not just this year. I mean, I think they're they're like 1 sack in their last 3 big games or something like that.
That's what I read somewhere too. It reminded me that these guys came back, to beat Michigan. Yeah. But these guys came back because their draft stock was ass.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually that high, or as high as they maybe liked. I do think it was high. I do think they had high draft stock.
It's all potential, though. It's nothing they've done on the field.
Right. They haven't looked very good.
They have like all that skill set that you can mold and the measurables and all that. But yeah, they haven't.
Yeah. I mean somebody will take a flyer on them, but they're not can't misses like you thought they would be.
We haven't seen JTT since the Penn State game 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right? Like, he hasn't done anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I was waiting all week to come on here and say, I don't think Lanning did that 12 men on purpose.
Oh, that's an interesting zag.
But now he's taking credit for it.
He was being very coy about it, but then I saw some all 22 footage, and they did sneak a corner on at the very, very, very end on that bunch set. You can see the coaching staff pushing him out there.
Yeah.
So I really did not want to give him credit, but that was just
you're giving the credit.
I am giving him the credit. Yes.
I give him no credit ever.
Credit to Dan there. They're looking at the rule now mid-season, which is hilarious. This is not.
Were they just going to give it unsportsmanlike conduct?
No, I think you would probably put the time back on the clock.
Ah, I see. That's still
basically replay the down with the 5-yard penalty, I think. But again, I mean, I don't think you could change the rule mid-season.
Well, I'm pretty sure they did like today.
Really. I mean, this isn't the first time that people have done this type of deal. Just commit the blatant penalty and then take the runoff. I've seen it multiple times in the NFL. I feel like where people are trying to run the clock out and they just hold the hell out of people.
Yeah.
I saw a clip there. It was at the end of a half, so they just held all the receivers, and then the play ended. They gave up the 5 yards, and then there's not enough time for them to go to the end zone again, so they have to kick a field goal, right? I mean, I think it's part of the game. I don't think – I do think you should – there was a rule that Burt was exploiting against Joe Paterno, I remember, that Joe was not happy about in 2007. Something with kickoffs and just running off sides all the time. I think he did that a couple times to end a half or something like that.
Joe was probably just so confused.
Yeah, Joe didn't know what was going on. I think honestly, I think Joe might have been already out of that game. That might have been the game that he got his leg broken in. It was a good game, though. The game of the night slate was that LSU game where they did not lead for a single second of the game.
No, they did not.
But what do you make of Lane? I guess the larger conversation there. All the money they spent bringing in these transfers. What's the deal with Lane here?
Not good. Misfortune.
I mean, they had a bad game against Kentucky. I get it. Bad games happen. And you had a tough game against LSU. I mean, it's two losses, which it just sucks that in this sport that kind of dooms you. But
yeah, now they gotta beat Georgia, otherwise they're probably not.
They lost. They used their mulligan. Well, I don't want to say they have a little more leeway than other teams, but Kentucky they've won that. If they lose to LSU without losing to Kentucky, then it's like okay, they lost a tough game. Now their backs are truly against the wall.
Yep. They're in trouble. I heard it mentioned on the airwaves. Does this mean now with Ole Miss not being potentially looking like they're not in the playoff race at the end of the season, what does that mean for Florida and efforts in trying to get him before National Signing Day? I don't know. Speaking of which, Florida should have been up 24-0 at the half, I think. How much of this game did you guys watch?
I didn't see any of it.
Zero. No interest.
They had five red zone, either 5 red zone or 5 drives into Tennessee territory in the half, I think.
Oh, never mind. I watched the late fourth overtime. Yeah.
Yeah. I wound up with 3 points to show for it, which is incredible. Mertz,
Pulling out for Mertz.
Mertz out. Yeah, out for the year again. I think maybe end of the college career. ACL again, which paves the way for Lagway, who looked great. He had great is a subjective, I guess, but he had an amazing absolute rope. You see the talent just oozes from him. He looked, I think, a lot of times better than Nico, another story. Speaking of disappointments, I think you probably could see this. And Dan, to his credit, not buying into the hype train, and seeing this from a mile away when everybody was talking about them being number 1 about a month ago or so, right?
But they could shove it in my face. They could shove it down my throat.
That's true, but I do think that they could and definitely have the potential to. But these last couple of weeks, including that Oklahoma game, that offense hasn't looked good. Defense has still looked good, but Nico is not. I mean, a month ago, people were talking about him winning the Heisman, right?
Yeah,
and I think we should have seen it. Was it on here we were talking about him not looking good against NC State?
Oklahoma.
Well, he didn't look good against Oklahoma, but people thought it was just Heupel dialing it back. And people talking about, like, they killed NC State 51 points, but then they look at Nico's stat line, he wasn't that good. And they were like, oh, imagine when they put 51 points on NC State and Nico wasn't even good. And they were talking about it like it was a good thing. Like, oh, they did this without him even being good, and you can expect him to be good. But he hasn't been good, right? Against any type of competent competition, even including NC State, who's not competent. Oklahoma, he hasn't looked good. And then the last couple of weeks, obviously, he has not looked good.
No, I agree.
Yep.
We didn't even touch on the Alabama game either, which they tried their very best to give away.
That was remarkable.
That was disgusting.
To see the way that quarterback was throwing the ball.
Milroe. Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Milroe?
Huh?
Scar quarterback.
Oh. Sellers.
Just the fact that
Milroe was disgusting also.
no awareness.
No awareness. He sucks. I mean, a game and a half ago, people talking about giving him the Heisman. Right?
Who, Milroe or Sellers?
Yeah, Milroe.
Oh, he's my Heisman pick, so yeah, I'll ride it.
Yeah.
No, just quit. Genty all day.
Genty. He took care of business, had another good game.
Yeah.
You guys catch any of the Colorado game? I don't know how. I think we mentioned.
I pieced it together I didn't see much live, but as I pointed out, Colorado having basically no receivers left, and then coming back to take the lead from 10 down in the fourth quarter.
Disgusting.
Not good climbing. His stock is coming down.
I mean, because he keeps trying to throw the ball with Avery, and Avery looks gross.
Yeah.
For those that they uninitiated, their backup was Taquan Roberson, who is Noel Roberson.
No.
And
Of no relation.
Penn State fans know that it's not good when he comes in. Speaking of the 2021 seasons and how things collapsed, he came in and completed a couple passes, which I was impressed by. Luckily for K-State fans, he didn't have to stay in there too long. Avery came back out. BYU pasted Arizona again without outgaining them or whatnot. I saw that. There's some crazy action, backdoor covers. And yeah, rising his ass. Let's get to this week. Anything else you want to touch on?
It is.
Iowa, my lock hit. He put it on.
Oh yeah.
Ferentz putting it on Fish. Yeah. I may go back to the well again this week. 5.5 in East Lansing. We'll see.
All right.
Any news?
I have one piece of news. I didn't do a lot of reading this week, but I have one piece of news. Barry Odom, the coach of Running Rebels, big game next week against Genty. Next Friday night. That'll be fun.
Friday or next Friday, you're saying? Like in a week?
9 days from now, yeah.
9 days, okay.
He is giving the command to the drivers at the NASCAR race this week, the South Point 400.
Oh.
Look at that.
Drivers, start your engines. As the NASCAR playoffs, round of 8 begin, 3-race stretch.
There we go.
Coming off a dominant win by Larson.
And I can remember there are only 8 cars on the track.
No, they're all on the track.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's funky, but all 8 drivers vying for 4 spots in the championship 4. Any other questions? Hit me up. I watch every lap. That's all I got. On to week 8. We're not doing Oregon Purdue, even though Purdue looks a little feisty.
Purdue, when they play a top 5 ranked team, your antennas go up, especially if it's a night game.
Well, that was the case especially when Braum was there. And look where we start this week. Oh, it's number 16. Braum in Louisville, catching 4.5.
I'll defer to you guys here, ACC correspondents.
What used to
yeah, I mean,
used to be Papa John's, now it's not.
What is
He's
it
a
now?
big Blue fan. He's a big Blue fan now. He went to Kentucky.
Maybe it's still Papa John's. Either way, I've been circling this for weeks. Louisville on the field. I've seen enough of this Miami Bull. Dan's boys, Chuck, Brooks, Ball, Lacey, these guys, big game Braum. Louisville, if this game was at night, I would say Louisville by 17. It's not. So give me Louisville by 8.
AY knows about Louisville at night against top.
I do. I've seen I've seen enough of this Miami circus. I'm tired of it.
I'll take the 4 points, 28-24. Louisville loses.
Yeah, it's just I'm right there with you guys. I just cannot with that quarterback is just
The show.
He's gonna be in it. Okay, we'll have a minute, and then he'll soil himself down the stretch. I will go 33-27 Canes. How about that?
33-27. Okay, so you're having them covered.
I've got Miami. Yeah.
All right.
Staying true to his values. I respect it.
Yep.
Trying. I'm 25 games under 500. What else do I have to lose?
Maybe the highlight of the early window. Big noon. Nebraska, Raiola, Rule.
The highlight is UCLA Rutgers homecoming on the banks of the old Raritan.
We'll see if Gerson can write the tracks, and we'll see if going.
UCLA coming back east for another 9 a.m. local kick.
That's tough, yeah. Nebraska running into Signetti, JV Midwest. Like this game, I guess as an Indiana fan now, it has me a little nervous. Indiana, I get it. I've been pumping them up with Signetti, but I can be real. They haven't played anybody. They haven't. I'll give you that. If I wasn't biased, I would take the 6.5 points here, even with Nebraska not winning a ranked game since Turner Gill was quarterback, it seems like. But there's just I can't go against Signetti and Rourke and Surratt.
Shanahan.
I can't go against it. It's gonna be. I'm gonna take IU by 7. Skin of their teeth cover. Because Nebraska's gonna do something stupid.
Yeah, I don't think Nebraska's actually that good either. I will go with the late cover as well. 28-20. One more point.
We're all on the Hoosiers.
Indiana. 9-win Indiana.
9-win
Indiana.
Have you abandoned your Gers? Speaking of, you mentioned Gers having the game of the week, but have you abandoned your 9-win Gers?
Yeah, I don't think they're getting there.
9 games.
Where we go next? I'm not on the screen.
We've got Auburn going to Missouri here.
Oh boy.
I told you guys I hate this Missouri team. I think there's potential for them to wake up here, which is making me hesitant here, but I will still take Auburn here and the points. I do think Auburn is obviously they haven't won. They've been gross, but I do think they're not as bad as the record seems to indicate. I do think they should have won that Oklahoma game. Obviously, they didn't. I think they'll make it close here. Missouri's still bad. Still gross team. I'll take the points. Yeah. Auburn loses by 3. Another hard
Gigundus rat line on this one.
Yeah.
I will go Auburn.
Wow, yeah.
I still can't believe they lost that game to Oklahoma.
This does stink a lot. I'll bite though. I'll take Missouri. Yeah, I know what I'm walking into.
Yep.
This next one, Arizona State, Cincinnati. We told this production meeting. Fillingham said Levitt is out, and our old friend Jeff Sims is in.
Oh,
One of the oldest friends.
Whenever I think of Jeff Sims, I think of that Black Friday game against Iowa.
oh.
That was one of the funniest games I've ever seen.
I think of the game he had against Minnesota to start the season last year.
What about UCF when he was with
With Georgia Tech.
He get a crazy he 300 yards and 4 turnovers against UCF, something crazy like that.
He has been around the block.
Well, I know we've I don't want to say slandered, but we've had fun with Dave at times, and I know earlier
All the time.
we mentioned fading Grant, but I'll ride with Grant here. He's, let's just say, positive regression coming Grant's way. So let's go Bearcats.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bearcats here. Arizona State riding high after that field storming and upset win of Utah. Coming east, I will take. I will not take these. I will lay these points, and I'll go with a touchdown win for Satterfield. Satterfield having a nice season this year. Sorsby leading the way.
I believe in Sims. Sorry, Grant.
And all the
Not
love,
really.
all the love we give Tim Riggins for Penn State. Royer from Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, he's a problem.
Very good tight end. Not Warren, but very, very good tight end.
Oh yeah.
Next up, oh boy, going to Rocky Top.
Oh.
Bama, Tennessee. Vols catching 3 at home in the – was it an orange out, I think?
Oh, disgusting.
Last week was a checkered.
This is a bev out.
And we ranted about Emil Yava earlier. Sampson is awesome.
He's good.
Very good running back. I know we mentioned that. I think we mentioned that last week too. Tennessee, great defense, but they haven't seen an Alabama type offense yet. Yeah, they played the bigger names: Oklahoma, NC State, Grayson McCall, Florida. But I mean, this is Bama with Milroe and Ryan Williams and Jam Miller and such. I know Tennessee did it 2 years ago. Awesome game that was.
Yep.
52-49, something like that. Something crazy.
Yep.
I just don't like what I've seen of late from Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I get it. You could say, oh, look at Bama the last few weeks.
Yeah, I would say,
the last 40 minutes against Georgia, the Vanderbilt game, the Scar game. But I'm going to lay it with Alabama here.
Yeah.
I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to lay it. Milroe and those guys find a way and win this game by 7.
I agree.
Got him as well.
Yeah. Oh, we're making a clean sweep. I do think Bama will come out. This is standard DeBoer here, what we're seeing at Alabama. An up and down crazy game against Georgia, coming out and being gross against being very gross against Vandy, and then gross again against South Carolina. I think he'll come up, wake up, and have the playbook dialed up for this road game, big road rivalry game. I think they'll win by 7 points here. I'm going Bama as well.
Okay, 24 Michigan, 22 Illinois. This is
gross.
This is gross. Bird's catching 3.5 here.
Bird catching 3.5. Listen, I like Illinois' offense a lot. I think they got some nice weapons out there at receiver.
Altmaier.
Allmeyer is dialing it up, having a pretty good season. They run that RPO system, and they got a couple of backs that I like, Fagan, and the other one as well. The name is escaping me right now, but he went for a ton of yardage a couple years ago in that 2020 in the 9 overtime win against Penn State. McCray, did I say McCray and Fagan, I believe his name is. I think Michigan's defense, for all their reputation and the studs up front, Will Johnson, I do think there's some cracks there. I think Illinois and their defense can get enough stops. Obviously, Michigan's offense is not anything to write home about. I do think they're expecting a sellout here or very ramped up environment. I like Burt here at home, and I will actually take them outright. I'll gladly take the 3.5 as well.
I will hail to the victors for this one. This is going to be this could be an eyesore.
Could be a nice one. Who are they going to play, Tuttle or Orgy?
King Tuttle, I don't know.
I think I heard Tuttle. I was trying to find this number here. This over-under, I'm sure it's mad low, which would make you take the points. 42.5, I thought it'd be a little lower. I'm taking Michigan here. I know they really can't complete a forward pass, but I think the front, both trenches, I think they control enough, and I know I've been flip-flopping on Altmaier seemingly all year. So I'm going to go back to...
It's undeniable what he did against Western Illinois.
I'm just trying to... I guess I'm trying to shake the positive...
Eastern Illinois.
That positive Nebraska performance out of my head.
It's the Fighting Romos, man.
Yeah, give me Michigan. Gross one. Just, I'm not watching it.
43.5. Do you see that?
Oh, disgusting.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Which is kind of actually surprises over 40.
I thought I was going to see 39 for sure.
I think that's a product of Bert's offensive renaissance out there.
That's true, yeah. Bert put up the points.
Yeah.
Old Bert, LSU, Arkansas.
Oh. This game's been a 3-point game. 3-point game the last 3 years.
That's crazy. And I was thinking of this on my drive home today. I was thinking of this game. I don't know why, but I was. And I thought I was going to say, Brian Kelly wins these games. He's supposed to, on and on. And I was thinking, I think I said back in the previews or week 1 or whatever, that Pittman's not going to make it to Halloween.
Yeah.
He's proved me wrong.
He could make it to the playoffs if he wins.
That team grinding.
He could make it to the playoffs.
But I'm just going to – I'm not going to double down, but I'm just going to stick with what I said. I'm not going to buy into Arkansas now. I know they had a week off to prepare for this and cook something up on defense.
They sat fat and sassy after that upset over Tennessee.
And I know LSU just had that big emotional win, but I just think they can protect Nussmeier and they can find who's the receiver? Not Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey's one of the receivers.
Is it Lacey? Yeah, Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey, and they have Anderson as well.
I was saying Callum Lacey from Louisville. Yeah, Lacey has emerged there. And the defense for LSU is the pressure rate's been better of late. So, yeah, give me Kelly escaping one here and finding a way to blow it later on down the line.
I'm with you here. If it was at 3, I would take the Hogs, I think. But I think that just picking it here at 2.5, I'll take LSU. It wouldn't surprise me if it were to go the other direction and for the Pittman to pull it out. This series is always close and unpredictable, grinded outs. So I do expect a good game, but I do think if it is under here, that 3, that key number, I will take LSU to pull it out.
Yeah.
I think they'll be slow after that emotional.
Yeah.
Move.
I'm going Pittman. I wish this was like 4-point line so I could hedge P it, but I'll just
Yeah.
go Pittman outright. Screw it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't agree that it's Pittman would.
I don't agree.
But I do agree if it was, like I said, if it was 3, I would have taken Pittman,
Four.
I think. All right, the main event, the headliner of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's been an amazing couple of weeks stretch here for college football as a whole. I think this week taking a little bit of a step back, but still a couple of big name, big program headliners here in the SEC. Very excited about.
Because of Arkansas and Vanderbilt.
Yes.
The week is taking a step back.
The line has ran to 5 now. It was at 3.5 for most of the week, right?
I did not notice, but
What do you make of the steamage? What do you make of the steamage?
Yeah, it was at 3.5. Yeah, just last time I saw it, yes.
Sark is my big short.
More than Heupel.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I've been obviously very nearly. Did he get me last year? But I just don't. Or I shouldn't say that. I can't get all his past baggage out of my head, which doesn't really matter as much in the regular season. I think I would be more emphatic and have higher conviction if this were a playoff quarterfinal or whatever. But yeah, I still think Georgia's poised to win it all. And despite the whatever the hell that was against Mississippi State, and obviously their issues against Bama, I think this is probably my easiest pick to make this week, to be honest.
The way it's gone up there, but I'll tell you, I think I could see going either direction. The championship medal in Georgia, I do see it coming up and coming into play here. I think it would get like a 3-point loss here for Georgia. I do think it will get their best effort of the year. They've obviously looked very gross for a lot of the year. The Kentucky game they could have lost. That first half of the Bama game. And then this past week as well, they were gross. But I think not that they were playing possum or not that they were holding stuff back, but I do think they'll rise to the occasion here in a primetime matchup against the number 1 team in the country. I think they'll come to play, and it'll be a really good game. But I'll take the points gladly, the 5. But something's telling me I think there's too many people on Georgia.
Oh yeah, that's high.
Yeah.
Well, there can't
I'm
be
kind of
that
surprised
many.
Georgia's even favorable.
Oh, there can't be that many as far as backers because, the number is obviously going the other direction. But, I mean, there's too many talking heads going with Georgia, I feel like, right now.
I mean, yes, that's true. The talking heads for me, nothing. I think it's all about the
money.
The various groups involved in the desert.
Syndicates.
The Euro syndicates.
And I would be shocked if these groups did not at least throw something on Georgia here at this number now, because I think even a few weeks ago, as far back, I mean, July, if you told us, you said you're gonna get 5 points at Texas with Georgia.
Oh,
like it's an autoplay. At least something, a dart throw, whatever. Just a value play. Take it. I'm taking Georgia as well. I know I teased it a week or two ago. Like, this is gonna do it. Texas hasn't played
anybody
that good offense yet. Georgia's not. They've never been that juggernaut offense. They've always had a good offense in this run, but it was
efficient.
It was always that defense that they rode, and they don't have that defense this year. They don't have that big guy the Jalen Carter in the front, Jordan Davis in the front, just clogging everything up and letting those linebackers eat, and the great secondary, they kind of just have a bunch of raw 5-stars. What a terrible problem to have. But I mean, Isaiah Bond nicked up. They have plenty of receivers. Ewer's rusty last week. He's fine. The Texas O-line is awesome, so I don't think that sketchy Georgia D line is going to have their coming out party here. But I do think their defense will be tested for sure with this Georgia offense. Can Georgia get out of the blocks? They haven't. Ooh, there's a dong.
Yep, that's it.
Georgia hasn't shown up in the first quarter in this year, and they're going to need to this week. We'll see what they do, but you're going to give me 5 points with Georgia. I'm going to take that every day.
The bank. Take it to the bank.
Kenya, you mentioned the championship medal. I think this is just this has to be like a respect play to Georgia. Until they're like truly knocked down, you kind of just have to. If you're getting 5 points here, you just have to take it.
How many of the guys playing are actually championship medal guys, though?
That's true, but I think it's
just Starks. Maybe?
Did you not see Carson Beck in that national championship game, Ken?
Yeah.
That's true. He did play in that 65-7.
Yeah.
He's got that championship medal. That's true.
Yeah, it's that they have that culture. I mean, you can dive into the culture there as much as you want, but they do win, at least. Off the field is a different story. And lately on the field with Kirby Smart.
Has he addressed that yet?
I mean, I haven't looked for it, so I don't know.
Sorry, you see that going off Otani's foot?
Yeah, I see it.
That was brutal. Anyway, sorry. And it's tough with these games. Felt the same way with the Oregon-Ohio State game. Like, these teams are all freaking loaded. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to pick when you have both of these teams loaded up the way they are. I don't know. I meant to mention this. Oh, he did it again. Martin Van Buren for Mississippi State throwing for 3 touchdowns against Georgia. Like that's troubling. But
yep.
I don't know what the over-under is, but I think this game's going over.
56.5.
Yes, both these teams.
I tend to agree. I think this will be in the 30s.
This will be in the 30s for sure.
And we've got 81 degrees, pretty perfect. The DKR.
Yeah, this will be in the 30s.
All right.
One
last question on it. Do we get a "We Want Arch" chant at any point?
I don't know. No, because
I think they love viewers, right? Like, there's not that dynamic.
I think they should, yeah. And I don't think unless Georgia just completely changes what they've been, they're not going to start slow, and Texas will be up, and Georgia has to mount a comeback of sorts. So, I mean, if it was like 17-0 Georgia, then maybe, yeah. But
yeah,
I think Texas will be out early.
All right. Okay.
All right, 2 more, and then a lone Holy Tri game. We're going back to Morgantown. We'll see if they can get it done.
Oh God!
Whoa,
again, catching 3. This time against K-State.
Who's programming this?
I put some fun ones in here at the end. Look, I took them last week.
Yeah,
I'm done. I took them
you're
week
done.
I took them week 1. I'm done with Morgantown. You're done. I don't even think K-State is as good as we thought they were, but I'm done. No.
For sure.
One more week. Here we go. I'll take the Mountaineers.
Ears. Dan going SOS.
I mean, it's more of a NOS with a very. That guy, it's got to be the hair with me. I know that's.
It's the hair. You're prejudiced against the hair.
Yeah, but it's not been pretty what I've seen of a very.
Oh, I got a hair story coming up soon. One more game though. Kentucky, I spelled it wrong. I forgot the C there. Florida.
Kentucky.
Could be. I feel like we said this before. Could be Napier's last stand.
I think
I didn't even pick this game before.
I'm going. I'm going Cats. Not Cats. I'm going Florida here. I'm going Nape. I don't think that they've given up on them, the players, and as evidenced by last week as well, they play hard. They just make some mistakes. I think another full week of Lagway growing, you can see the talent. I'll take them here at home.
Well, I'll go back to the well of picking against Florida at home as a short underdog. Law of averages. Go Cats.
Did you take UCF that week? Which game?
Yeah, that was my lock as well.
Yeah, look, I've been on Florida the last 2 weeks. I'm jumping off it now. Done. Lagway, I get it. I think it was a flash in the pan. I see I know what you mean with the talent and everything. Not yet. I think Stoops has something for him here. Gross game.
He always has something for Florida.
Yeah, give me the Cats.
All right.
One Holy Try game this week. That is Notre Dame traveling to Mercedes-Benz. As I look this up, traveling to Mercedes-Benz on Georgia Tech. Spread is up to 11.5. It's weird. My numbers made this 9.5, just by comparing like lines, and I think it opened around 8. Has been bet up. I think because of maybe the uncertainty surrounding Haynes King.
I was unaware. And they won last week, correct?
He got hurt really late in that game against North Carolina. His ankle, I believe. In day-to-day. If I was to guess, this has I can't take credit for this, but it's so accurate. Pete Sampson said this reminds him of a few years ago, the Virginia game with Armstrong.
Yeah.
When he was day-to-day questionable up to the very end, and he didn't go.
Irish smoked him.
And Virginia just looked completely lost and got boat raced.
Yeah. Who'd they play in that game? Was that the guy that wore number 99, right?
Oh, I forget. I wish I should have looked up who it was.
Thompson, I think, right?
It was bad. They were so lost in that game. Yeah. So we got that Haynes King, but you're probably wondering who would play if Haynes King doesn't. The answer is Will Pyron.
Who?
Exactly.
This guy looks sweet. He has got some nice red hair with a red mustache.
That's good.
Andy Dalton?
Dalton, Luke Schenscher combination.
Georgia Tech. There you go.
Got it all. Look, if Haynes King doesn't play, even with the very injured Notre Dame defense.
Oh, he looks a lot like Dalton.
Wow. He does. He does. He does. I think Notre Dame's D has enough here. Obviously against Pyron, you would think. On paper they do. Haynes King, different story. At least Notre Dame did see a mobile quarterback last week in Ashton Daniels, who the first drive was awesome, and then the D settled in and stymied the rest of the way.
Well, I remember this kid. They were using him in that game in the goal line situation.
He has played. He's played a little bit, yeah.
He's a power back.
I don't know if he's a full game QB we might see on Saturday. And Notre Dame coming off their smoothest offensive performance, I think. Purdue was fine, but this one Leonard was actually making like 15-yard throws, not just like deep balls. He had a few. It actually looked like it was like a real offense, not just a a deep ball, broken coverage. I hope they don't throw more slants in the red zone because they did that all last week, and that's on film, and someone's gonna sit
Put
on
it on
that.
tape. Put it on tape.
That's gonna come back to bite him at some point. I know it. It's gonna be a Leonard 15-yard slant in the end zone, picked off by somebody undercutting it. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. 11.5. You cannot trust this Notre Dame team any farther you can throw them. You can't throw them far. I know Haynes King is questionable, and Notre Dame is wearing the sick white jerseys. I'm going to
Game trends.
Game trends.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
You're laying them.
I'm gonna lay him. Maybe I'm just sipping the Kool-Aid of finally a good offensive week.
Or you're just spitting out the Pyron Kool-Aid.
I'm falling into the trap. I'm trying to think of the 6 games this year for Notre Dame. I think I've gone against them 4 times. So I need to even it out a little bit. I don't feel good about it, but I'll lay him. Let's get a little run going here until a speed bump against like Virginia or Service Academy.
That's right. You played both. Oh my goodness.
Both undefeated ranked Service Academies.
I can't wait.
This is the closest. This is the closest spread. The margin's the lowest until USC,
which could change if they pack it in.
Which could change, but I mean, it's in that. It's not the magic number is like 16-ish for the Freeman special, which is the other day Army was 18. So
God,
if that gets bet down too, that's right there in the wheelhouse.
Oh man!
But I think this is far enough from that where Notre Dame shows up for another week, and maybe escape one more till we get to upset zone. So give me Notre Dame 27-13.
This is in Mercedes-Benz, right?
Yeah. 27-13, and that is me predicting Haynes King will not play. And if he does play, I think he's going to be severely hampered.
I will also lay the points here with that injury intel, and I'll go 2 touchdown win here, especially with Notre Dame looking like they are waking up the echoes ever so slightly on offense.
We say that now, but the guard is.
I'm making 3 for 3 on the Irish.
My guard is very much up, but I'm peeking over it for this game.
I think this is one of the games I slotted them to lose. I think I might have said Georgia Tech and USC for their losses. I was prepared to take them certainly to cover, but I will. On the Haynes King news, I totally missed that. So
with us at midseason and no other Holy Tri games to look at, we should take a look at the playoff predictions and see how we're looking.
Okay. I know I have LSU, at least. They're alive. I know that.
Most of yours are still alive.
Where was it, week
0?
zero?
I had Oklahoma State in there. So
all of yours are still alive, AY.
Oh, look at me. I'm freaking count.
All of yours are looking good.
Dan only has the Okie State blemish.
Yeah. Utah. He's got a tar blemish also.
Tar blemish.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that's
bad. Ken might have the worst one.
Yeah. Dan's got a FIS, an Okie State, and a tar blemish. I'm
still bullish on FIS, actually.
You're still bullish on it?
I was eyeing them as a lock potentially this week.
Okay. I've got an Ole Miss that has basically 1.5 crosses through them now. It's like
Florida State. Oh, man.
Florida State's got 7 crosses through them.
Too much faith in the ACC, Ken.
Yeah.
Tennessee by a thread
is in the same boat as Ole Miss now. 1.5 looks like, maybe 1. It's 1 total. They've only got 1 loss.
They can take a Bama loss, but that's it.
Yeah,
they still got
exactly.
They still have Georgia.
Yeah, they do have Georgia still. Yeah. Okie State with the 7 X's. Yeah, bad playoff.
Who's going to get the? Or here's the question. Here's an interesting question. Are any of us going to get the Big 12 champion, even in the playoff?
It's true.
We've
Could be
got
BYU.
State,
Could be BYU.
Okie State. I don't know that any of them are getting in.
I have no clue who's going to win the Big 12.
It's amazing.
Crazy.
I have zero clue. And they
I
might not
will also
be,
go. It's not going to be BYU.
They might not even be a top 4 seed.
Yeah, it could be Boise State up in there. The case for Boise.
I'm rooting for it.
Me too. That'd be amazing. I'd love that.
Great. So we're all on the Irish. Lane 11
how
and a half.
about the Clones? Can I just point this out about the Big 12? The Clones into the top 10 with some real junk bond wins. I mean,
Oh yeah, they're
save
great.
for that rally against Iowa, who I mean,
Yeah, the one year I don't pick
not
on
super
Iowa.
impressed. That's not a top 10. I'm surprised by that actually.
Yeah, I feel like the power rating's got to have them like at number 20, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
What if Texas Tech sneaks in there? Who'd they beat by 1? It was some FCS school.
Like Incarnate Word or some shit.
Yeah. Abilene Ab Christian,
Ab-
52-51 over
Yeah,
Ab
Abilene
Christian.
Christian. Yep.
Lose to Palouse, maybe lose 1. I'm looking now. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. It's not a tough schedule for Tech.
No. We didn't pick Houston, Kansas this week.
I thought about that for my lock segment.
Oh God, yeah.
I know where I'm going with my lock.
All right, where are you going?
I'm going.
Iowa.
I almost did.
Oh,
In the Big Ten, helping out our SOS here, AY. These guys getting off the mat, even though they're crossing.
Oh,
the
you're
entire
not
country.
going cross country.
I am. I'm going
against the Bow.
-7 against the Bow. After I watched what Bow did last week against Northwestern, Woody Marks going for 200 yards. I'm locking up USC -7.
I'm ready for Loxley to do a gun celebration after he ridiculed the. I saw a tweet about that. He doesn't like the players doing gun celebrations.
Oh.
I think was his son passed away, was shot and killed.
Yeah,
or something like that, right?
that's true. Yeah.
So maybe he won't go that far, but
Yeah. Brandishing the weapon. No brandishing.
Yeah. Right, you're brandishing a weapon. I'll just go back to the big one again this week, even though it didn't work out last week. Like most weeks, Georgia for me. Square bear right there, but we'll see.
I'm going off the grid. Went back to some SP Plus research as I was going through post-game win expectancies. Nothing nefarious last week to report. You find her? Yeah. Okay. Oh, hand loss Gracie, but we found her in the house.
Oh my gosh.
She was in the house.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Catching 1.5 at home is Buffalo against Western Michigan.
Buffalo with that Toledo win last week.
I think my thought process was Buffalo's going the JMU route. It looked gross. Had the bye week, regrouped, came out with the big Toledo win, springboard. Now
What
they're
is
off.
Toledo doing this year? I feel like they weren't favorites, right?
It was Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. They got Lembo there. I forgot he was there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was former Ball State pretty good head coach, Pete Lembo.
Yeah.
He was on the radar for Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that line for Buffalo?
They're now catching 1.5.
Oh.
Opened at -0.5. Yeah, I mean, slow start to the year, but I think off that Toledo win, springboarding. Western Michigan beating Okron last week. No, I don't care. Give me the Bulls on the field.
I'm looking here now. When did Burt leave to go to
Arkansas?
Arkansas after 2012?
2012, yeah. It was after 2012.
It was
That
after that year, because that was when I was worried that Chris
was
was
the
going to go back
disgusting
after 1
Rose
year.
Bowl. That was the disgusting Rose Bowl year they had. Because Ohio
With,
State was not eligible and Penn State was not eligible. Oh, no.
With the Kurt,
yeah.
what was that quarterback's name? Kurt Phillips.
Yeah, Kurt Phillips. Yeah.
Who's that old
Mel
Arkansas?
Gore and, James
Ryan Mallett.
Ryan Mallett? Yeah.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
died
he
2 years
passed.
ago.
Yeah.
Speaking of dying, R.I.P. to the One Direction kid today.
Yeah, Liam.
What? I didn't know that happened.
It fell from a 3rd-story balcony at a hotel and died.
Jeez.
Everybody was like, "Did he commit suicide?" And then Andy looked it up. It was third floor. There's no way he committed suicide from the 3rd floor. It was definitely an accident.
Eesh.
Not good.
Right.
Life's fragile.
In Argentina.
Buenos Aires, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
All
there we go. Week 8 preview in the books. We will see you guys next week for Week 9. Looking
Indeed.
forward to a fun Saturday. You guys have your bye weeks. Lucky. But we got a good slate, so let's enjoy it.
All right.
We will be next Wednesday because Thursday.
Oh, yeah. With Pitt on
Pitt
Thursday.
versus
Yeah,
the
next
Orange
Wednesday it is. For me, AWF, Beautiful State Capital, Blue State, Commonwealth, Pennsylvania. To my west, Deberg.
And I'll shout out Gino Malkin for 500 in a winning effort, despite Tristan Jar's best efforts.
And very far behind, but now on the board, counting, chasing his countryman, Matvey Michkov, his first 2 last night. The march to 500 is on.
Rookie of the year, the rookie of the year favorite. Mitch
Calder favorite, yes. Don't look now, flowers your ass, but Michkov is real. And Cannon is Rangers, the favorite to win.
Hometown Devils also Devils Army off to
Yeah.
a good start.
The Rags.
He's got 2 to choose from. 2 great clubs here for Can. Can to my east.
I see Ionesco completed the 15-point comeback in Game 3, avenging the 15-point comeback that they gave up in Game 1.
Can's hometown Liberty. Can is
Tri-state area.
Yanks, Liberty.
Yeah, looking forward to the Subway Series if the Mets can get back up off the mat here.
Yeah.
We're running out of time at Game 3.
Start planning for tomorrow, in my opinion.
Agree.
When
There's
tomorrow?
$1,200 tickets on ResX if you want to look for there's 1 ticket on there. Free food and drink, non-alcoholic drink though. In the Hyundai Lounge.
Hyundai.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.